So the other day I talked about this, and I don't think I touched much on it, and maybe I haven't talked about it. But there's a law in two states. It's not even just California, but there's another state that's passed this law, and the law is basically saying that all operating systems, regardless, have to have an ID check. It has to have all this shit, an ID check at install. This is some nefarious shit. This is some very and I'm not usually one for oh god, what is it called? Conspiracies. I'm not usually one for conspiracies, all right? I'm not usually one who takes part with conspiracies, but it feels like there's a conspiracy here. They try to use children to say, this is to keep people safe, this is to keep children safe and everything. But this doesn't feel like that at all. It's too nefarious. Yeah, it's too nefarious. Like it's like why are they wanting to know so much? Like this is not about children. This is stop being about children. There is a huge conspiracy going on, and it's not just with our government, it's all governments, to monitor us more and more, to know who we are on the internet and follow us and knowing what we do. Because they're even trying to get this into Linux. I know I talked about this already in a video, but it begs being spoke of again. Like, this is insane. So not only is the California law in place, and now Ubuntu, or Ubuntu, however you want to say it, they're planning on putting in age verification. They're just going to give in. They're just giving in and putting in the age verification. So supposedly I don't know how they're going to enforce this law, but yeah, if somebody doesn't have this age verification crap on the computer, per incident or per instance, they would owe like $15,000 or some crap. I can't remember, or $150,000, something like that. They would have to pay an instance of that. That would be the fine, and it wouldn't be the user that pays the fine. It would be whatever company came up with the operating system. This isn't about protecting kids anymore, people. This is worth being worried about, and it's democratic states. A democratic led state is pushing this. This is not Democrat versus Republican anymore. This is no longer left versus right. This is the entirety of our government. There's a conspiracy going on. It's all of our government here in the US. It's all of the European government, the UK government, every government just about around the world is implementing this shit. Why? They say children. That's a scapegoat. It's not children. They want to monitor us. We should be worried. We should be worried and scared, and we should be standing up to this crap. We should be chanting and protesting, and we're not. We should be worried. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. There's no two ways about it. We should absolutely be worried. I've been looking at stuff online all day reading about it, and it's freaking me out, honestly. Um, what do they? How are they planning to enforce this? That's one question. How would you enforce this? How do you enforce something like this? I don't think you can enforce something like this. Let's think about that for a second. How do you enforce this? You don't. You don't, and you can't. Things are looking dark, and I don't like it. Things are looking extremely, extremely dark. Yeah, there's stuff about this online actually. There's actually stuff. that I've been running into, like this one. Resist, quote, dangerous global march towards age checks for social media, scientists warn. And it's not just social media, but 371 security and privacy academics across 29 countries said the technologies being rolled out are not effective and carry significant risks for security, privacy, and people's freedom of autonomy. Autonomy. I can't talk. I'm trying to say anonymity, but anonymity, autonomy. But it's not just that. Now they're wanting to put it into operating system. What am I doing here? It was up here a while ago. I love Twitter. Love Twitter. I love how 1 minute it's there we go. There we go. We even have if these devs contact me, I will advise them for free and start assembling a legal team to challenge this law. There are people that are already talking about challenging the law. So, yeah, Ubuntu is planning a mandatory age verification. Ubuntu and elementary OS developers are planning to add age verification functionality in a way which impacts all Linux users to comply with a new California law. It's a law they want to put everywhere. The reason it's starting, I think, in California is because anything that starts in California does tend to spread. It starts off there and then it goes everywhere else. You know what I'm saying? Oh my God. So you can't install an OS if you are below 18 years of 8 years old or what? There shouldn't be any age verification. Why is there age verification on an operating system? And do they not know how Linux works? I said this before as well. So I'm questioning this. How do you do this? Like age verification, because when you install Linux, you don't have to be connected to the internet at all. You can install a Linux operating system without that distribution, whatever. You know what I mean? So how do they enforce this? Through fear tactics, through finding whoever they can and making an example of them, punishing the hell out of them, and scaring the hell out of all of us in the process. That's what I feel is going to happen. That's what I think for sure is what's going to happen. And it's not looking good. I don't know what I had planned to say when I made this video. I just know it was something I wanted to speak out on. We should be resisting this. It's none of their goddamn business who someone is online, unless they're actually actively committing crimes. It's no one's goddamn business. This is just more the government sticking their nose in stuff. And you can tell these laws were passed without any true knowledge of how operating systems work. They didn't care. Oh my God. The fact that they don't even verify that your attestation is true is the real joke. Anyone can put an age they want in. Doesn't ask that you prove it. So are we not putting in our IDs or anything? It literally just wants you to have a thing that says, I am such and such years or older. Because anybody's going to just click there and say, yeah. They're just going to click. Just be like, yeah, get this over with. This is asinine. AB 1043 mandates an API for applications to query user age demographics with a $7,500 fines per violation, raising privacy concerns as it applies universally to operating system providers without exemptions for open source projects like Linux distributions. At Gavin Newsom, I have to say I am curious as to how this would affect computers at schools, as theoretically each session with each student would have to query the API. This is ridiculous. They don't understand technology. They barely grasp it because these are some very out of touch politicians. Left, right, doesn't matter. So they don't really actually understand how this shit works. And then they force this insanity on us. $7,500 per instance, per violation. I had it wrong. I thought it was like 150,000 or 15,000. No, it's 7,500, but that's a lot of fucking money. Each violation will go back to whoever developed the distribution. So the Linux Mint team would be having to pay out. Oh my god. There's got to be a way to circumvent it, to say fuck you, to fuck off to Gavin Newsom and the rest of them. Like, I'm not worried about them knowing who the fuck I am. They already know who the fuck I am. If they see me on YouTube, they know who the fuck I am. They know where I live. They've got all the information in the world that they could possibly fucking need. But for anybody else out there, this is ridiculous. This is tracking. This is about tracking us. And, man, why should all users be subject to control and regulations of a single American state? It's not one American state. There's another state. I think it's Colorado. I'm not sure. But there is another one. And other states are probably fixing to drop their own. Absolutely ridiculous for any company to cater to this crap and enforce policies on others who don't even live there. But it's not just one state. It's not. I like seeing the comments about this stuff. Theoretically, couldn't somebody with the appropriate skill set just remove this from a particular distribution they want to use, essentially rendering this enforcement useless? And then privacy becomes a privilege that only the tech savvy enjoy. Oh, stop. No, stop. Fucking stop. Fucking stop. Don't go there. Don't fricking go there. No. Comments like this can F off. No. But then you learn. You become savvy. It's not like you're being kept out of being savvy. Shut up. Mind Goblin. Shut up. Go do crime, make forks. Yeah, I mean, anybody can make a fork. You can make a fork. That's how open source works. Anybody can make a fork. It can be their own fork. And they'll be like, no, this isn't Linux Mint. This is Linux Peppermint. This is Linux, this is my distribution. It's my own personal distribution that I made called Linux Tart. Yes, this is Linux Tart. It's a fork of Linux Mint that I made myself for myself that doesn't require age verification. So shove it up your ass. Basically shove it straightways up your butt. Just shove it on up there, man. Shove it up there, man. Shove it. Shuck it long. Shuck it hard. I don't know what they're expecting. Oh my God, New York bill that is similar. What? Yeah, so there is other states doing this. Relates to requiring manufacturers of internet-enabled devices to conduct age assurance to determine a user's age category? Fuck off! Why is this being implemented? What kind of insanity is this? What is going on with our government? Something is wrong. Something is amiss. We should be scared. We should be concerned to hell and back. Why are we not doing anything? I don't think there's a whole lot I personally could do. But if there's anybody out there who can do something, who can protest or whatever, do it. We fight back, and we fight back hard. Again, like I said, you can fork a distribution. Any distribution that comes out there, you are able to fork. You can fork it, and it can be a different Linux distribution that doesn't have it. A fork of Linux Mint called Linux Buttcrack. This is Linux Buttcrack. It's my own personal distribution of Linux Buttcrack. I don't know. And this fork of Linux Buttcrack, there is no age verification because it's my own distribution of Linux. It's for me. And I don't want you knowing a fucking thing about me. You are not going to track me. You're going to suck my fat one. That's going to get this video in trouble. This video is going to be in trouble. Oh, it's going to be 18ified, but I had to talk about this. This is This is nuts. This is insanity. This is nothing short of insanity. Man. Thanks for watching. I got nothing else. I'm worried. I'm so worried.